Harley picks up his younger sister, Jody, from school. At home, he meets Misty, another sister, and asks her about their older sister, Amber's whereabouts. When Amber returns, Harley reminds her of her responsibility to look after their siblings while he's at work, especially since she plans to go on a date. Amber argues that Misty can handle taking care of 6-year-old Jody, sparking a heated argument between Harley and Jody. Later that evening, Harley and his 2 siblings had dinner together. Afterward, he headed to work at a nearby supermarket. There, he met Kelly, a friendly neighbor who was interested in his family. Kelly's daughter was also a close friend of Harley's. When Harley returned home, he woke suddenly and went outside. He found Amber and her boyfriend on the living room sofa. Angered, Harley fired a warning shot into the air. Startled, Amber and her boyfriend hurried outside. Harley's siblings were also awakened by the noise. Frustrated, Harley set fire to the sofa. The scene shifted to Harley visiting Kelly's house to pick up his sibling, who had been playing with Kelly's daughter. Unaware that Kelly had already made arrangements, Harley accepted a drink and they began chatting. Their conversation took an interesting turn when they discovered a shared interest in art. Harley was intrigued to learn that Kelly had named her child after a famous artwork. While at home, Amber repeatedly wore one of Harley's shirts, which annoyed him. He asked her to take it off, and she immediately complied. However, Harley cautioned her against such behavior to avoid setting a bad example for their siblings. At work, Harley encountered Kelly again while she was shopping. She asked for his opinion on a book she had recommended earlier. Harley genuinely liked the book and shared his thoughts with her. Impressed, Kelly continued with her shopping. Later that night, Harley woke suddenly from sleep, feeling unsettled. He walked to Kelly's house, calling out her name for help. Kelly responded and followed him. As they neared, Harley pulled her close, and they shared a passionate moment. After finishing his shift, Harley returned to Kelly's house. There, she removed his jacket and attempted to initiate intimacy. Seeing Harley's hesitation, Kelly kissed him without a word. After their private moment, the scene shifts to Kelly's surprise when Harley unexpectedly visits several days later. Kelly, caught up with her household responsibilities, hadn't been in touch. She explained her situation to Harley, who responded warmly. Aware of her child nearby, they spent time together inside her house, chatting at the table. Pleased with their time together, Harley asked about meeting again before leaving. Initially unsure, Kelly eventually agreed to meet him at an abandoned office building near his home, but only on Wednesday nights. The scene transitions to a Wednesday evening. During their meeting, Harley enjoyed their time together, and Kelly suggested making Wednesday nights a regular occurrence, which Harley accepted gladly. The scene then shifts to Harley visiting his mother, who asked about his younger sisters. Harley assured her they were doing well. During their conversation, Harley learned a surprising truth. It wasn't his mother who had shot his father, but Misty, his younger sister. Driven by jealousy over their parents' relationship, Misty had intended harm, but their father had intervened and ended up getting shot instead. The scene shifts to a rainy day as Harley visits Kelly's house. Drenched from the rain, Kelly warns Harley not to come when her husband is home. Harley reassures her he just wants to make sure she's not upset. Confused by his persistence, Kelly asks him to explain again. She tries to understand why he keeps visiting. Frustrated, Kelly shares her concerns about disappointing her family, but agrees they can still meet on Wednesday nights as planned. The scene changes to Amber visiting Harley at work. She intends to say goodbye because she's moving in with her boyfriend. Harley asks her to stay and help with their siblings, which she agrees to. Back at home, Harley is startled awake to find Amber sleeping next to him in just her underwear. Amber insists it's normal, but Harley feels uncomfortable and asks her to get dressed. The scene then shifts to Harley's therapy session with his psychologist. During their conversation, Harley reflects on how Amber used to be affectionate towards him when they were children. Suddenly realizing it's Wednesday, Harley rushes to meet Kelly at their agreed location, believing she's waiting for him. Upon arrival, Harley is devastated to discover Kelly's lifeless body. He looks around in shock and sees Amber holding his rifle. Overwhelmed with grief, Harley breaks down in tears. Amber challenges him, questioning what will happen to her now that he's with Kelly. Confused and distraught, Harley continues to cry. In a sudden twist of events, Harley finds himself in police custody. He confesses to Kelly's murder, believing himself guilty. The movie ends with Harley in a prison cell, serving a wrongful sentence. Meanwhile, his 3 younger sisters are under the care of their uncle, as explained in a letter from Jody.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell icon, and stay connected with us.